a few hours, the battle over abortion rights heat up in a St. Louis courtroom. How faith leaders are attempting to restore abortion access in Missouri.
Focused on your safety, what's being discussed at a town hall tonight with nearly a dozen police and fire departments, and whether you can attend.
It makes me fearful to send my daughter to school. Nervous is an understatement.
Concerns in the classroom. What 2 area school districts are doing this morning to crack down on violence.
Temperatures will be coming down and even our humidity levels dropping over the next few days. Comfortable air sliding in for the weekend.
Cold weather means cheaper trips. How to save money on fall flights this morning.
It may be right or wrong.
After years in the shadow, it's now his turn to shine. How this local musician is stepping out of his comfort zone to inspire others.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Well, we begin on this Wednesday morning with a live look at downtown St. Louis, and look at that, way down at the bottom under all those clouds, here comes the sun.
That's weird.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony said he hasn't heard me sing that in a while, so you know what? A little throwback on a Wednesday morning. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Thanks so much for joining us. We just want to say thank you, especially if you're watching Prime Plus.
You always make fun of us with the pregnant pause, and you did it finally.
Well, I did because you usually say something else. So I was like, I'm Rennie Knott. It's, Wednesday, September 6th, and I was like, just waiting. Anyway, we're starting the 6 o'clock off really well. Paul Cook is in the house keeping an eye on traffic, talking about a big change over in where
St. Charles.
Some
good news.
Zumbo.
Yeah.
Right. I'll get it together at 7:01, guys.
We're all getting dialed, Get our words together, get our thoughts. Let's get
What though?
life.
The sun being so low on the screen in the horizon is very interesting.
Yeah, well, the clouds are the reason why there's like a little bit of clearing off in the horizon, so that's why it looks like that. But I thought it also was quite spectacular, and so I pulled up another camera because we just can't get enough this time of morning. And here it is, another shot of those low clouds clearing away. And yes, the sun coming up over the horizon, sneaking under those clouds, but really giving a nice little sunrise offering this morning. Cooler weather's coming our direction even through the weekend. We will have a drop in humidity levels, and it's all because of the cold front that's sliding through as we speak. Showers, those have come to an end. The little green you see here on the map, that is the radar scanning from the ground pointed up into the atmosphere, hitting some of those low clouds that you do see. So a little moisture still suspended in the upper parts of the atmosphere, but no more rain today. We're up to 84 later on with sunshine. We'll talk about the weekend forecast that's coming up for you. Let us head over to Paul Cook and see how the roads are shaping up this morning. What do you got for us this morning, Paul?
I have tons of great news, Anthony. There's just a lot of flow out there. Motion moving very, very well. You do see a lot of orange, though. Construction projects still remaining. And like we talked about over the weekend, 44 was just horrible coming back from the lake at St. James. Not the case right now, but there is still construction. And we're looking at the downtown bridges moving very, very well. We'll talk about Zumble in just a little bit, reopening after Calvert work. That is coming. More traffic soon. Michelle?
Thanks so much, Paul. We do want to get to some breaking news in North St. Louis. A little more than an hour ago, the westbound lanes of I-70 near Salisbury reopened after a St. Louis police cruiser was hit around 3:45 this morning. That crash closed I-70 for about an hour. An officer suffered some minor injuries, but at this point, we really don't know the circumstances surrounding that crash.
And just minutes ago, we learned the condition of 2 people shot in North County. One person has life-threatening injuries and the other is now recovering. The shooting happened around 9:30 last night on Scott Avenue in Spanish Lake. Police have not released any further information about the shooter.
Well, this morning, the battle over abortion in Missouri is heating up once again. In just a few hours, we know that a state law will be challenged in court. Alex Visa is live in downtown St. Louis with what will happen this morning in court. Good morning, Alex. What can you tell us?
Michelle, good morning. We're live outside the Carnahan Courthouse where that hearing is scheduled to get underway at 11 o'clock this morning. A group of religious leaders who support abortion rights filed a lawsuit over Missouri's abortion ban right here in St. Louis. That happened back in January. Now, the group of 13 Jewish, Christian, and Unitarian Universalist leaders claim lawmakers openly invoke their religious beliefs while drafting the abortion law and thereby impose those beliefs on others who don't share them.
They add, lawmakers violated the Missouri Constitution, which addresses a separation of religion and government. This lawsuit is just one of many that challenge restrictive abortion laws enacted after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June of last year, leaving abortion rights up to each state. Within minutes of the court decision, then Attorney General Eric Schmitt and Governor Mike Parson filed paperwork to immediately enact a 2019 measure that would only take effect if Roe v. Wade was overturned, prohibiting abortions except in cases of medical emergency. Today's court hearing seeks a permanent injunction barring Missouri from enforcing its abortion law. Now, coming up at about 6:45, Missouri's legal fights regarding abortion are not happening in isolation. I'll tell you how many post-Roe lawsuits have been filed against abortion bans in 19 states. Live this morning downtown, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Thanks so much, Alex. 5 on your side, of course, we'll be live streaming this hearing at 11 o'clock this morning. We're going to be on 5 Plus, KSDK.com, and on YouTube TV.
This morning, police officers in St. Louis County are meeting up to answer your questions and your concerns about crime. They're holding a town hall, and yes, you are invited. Our Sydney Stallworth is live for us this morning in Baldwin with more on tonight's meeting. Sydney?
Well, Rennie, 6 police departments and 4 fire departments are going to be coming together, joining forces this morning and speaking at tonight's town hall. Now, they're going to be talking about residents' concerns and the top things that they have questions about. They'll also be discussing what they see when they patrol the streets and respond to emergencies. So tonight's town hall is going to start at 6:30. It'll be right here where we are this morning at the Baldwin Golf Course on Holloway Road. County Councilman Mark Harder is sponsoring this town hall. Now, law enforcement leaders are going to talk about safety concerns like car thefts, how prevalent fentanyl is in the community, and whether the area is prepared in the event of a crisis. The town hall is recommended mostly for subdivision trustees, but anyone is welcome to attend. And if you have questions about specific concerns, there will be a chance to ask those questions. Now, I wanted to know what sort of crime is affecting St. Louis County so far this year. So I looked into the numbers this morning. The county reports about 74% of crime committed impacts residents' property. About 20% of crime is person to person. And then society crimes like gambling and drug violations make up about 5%. When I looked at the crime map, I saw that property crimes are by far the most frequent crimes that are committed here in West County. Now, here in Baldwin, property crimes pretty much reflect the numbers that I found this morning for the county numbers. About 75% of the crimes are impacting residents' property here in the city of Baldwin. Reporting live in Baldwin, I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
Thanks so much, Sydney. Now, in a few hours, the U.S. Secretary of Education will make a stop in the bi-state. It is part of his multi-state road trip with the goal of learning what specific districts need and also highlighting mental health resources available to support schools. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona will join several state and local leaders like St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones, Congresswoman Cori Bush, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. The issues that they will tackle include online connectivity, teacher diversity, access to higher education, and family engagement. Around noon today, Cardona will meet with Mayor Jones at Harris Stowe State University to address how black colleges can benefit from government aid.
The multi-state bus tour comes at a time where several area school districts are dealing with fights. This morning, Alton High School students are heading back into the classroom exactly 1 week after a series of fights broke out inside of the school. The school switched to remote learning last Wednesday. The school has implemented new safety rules so that fights will stop. Students will be greeted with new metal detectors, and more law enforcement and administrators will be on campus. Parents say something needs to change.
Nobody wants to see war come across the phone when they're talking to their child and their child is describing their day at high school. Unacceptable. It makes me fearful to send my daughter to school. Nervous is an understatement.
For the rest of the week, students will be limited to where they can move around outside of passing periods. The district is also cracking down on phones.
And security concerns are forcing St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School to give up home field advantage for Friday night's football game. This is being now moved to Waterloo after a fight forced administrators to suspend last week's football game against Hazelwood East in the fourth quarter. So the school says those involved in the fight were not affiliated with St. Mary's and no one was seriously hurt. Right now, St. Mary's is working on updating safety protocols for future home games. And let's go through this because it includes security wands at the gate. And now only students with valid school IDs from the home and away teams will be allowed to go to the games as well. Student athletes will be limited to only 8 registered guests each, and only adults can bring bags, which must be clear and also could be searched at the gate.
Right now, the Edwardsville School District is working to hire substitute bus drivers. The district needs drivers for school trips and other areas as needed. Pay is $20 an hour. You can apply right now online.
All right, let's check our weather first forecast. And this morning we are marveling over this sunrise. Another shot of you. Wow, look at that. And you can see the clouds and the sun creating a very ominous looking sunrise this morning over downtown. But we are done with the rain for the time being. The day ahead will feature a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures this morning starting off mild in the 70s, and highs today will be in the low 80s, and we're dry through the entire day. Now our dew points, that always makes a world of a difference this time of year. It still will be a little humid today, but those dew points will be coming down through the course of the week. Very comfortable air sliding into the weekend. We'll check the numbers on that weekend forecast. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Anthony. Coming up, danger across the border. The cities that you're going to want to avoid in Mexico deemed as the deadliest now in the world, and the one U.S. city that also made the list. A good deal on fall flights, the end of summer discount that you could soon snag.
Patterns of autism, how new technology may help diagnose autism more quickly and more accurately. And as we head to break at the 6 o'clock hour, a live look at the Square Beyond Compare over there in Belleville. Yes, Bell Vegas, you've got the fountain flowing once again, and the trucks driving around as well. The weather's going to be a little cooler as the week goes on. Anthony's going to have more on that. Right now, I just want to marvel at this because it's so peaceful. We're right back in a moment.